Okay, we're going? All right. Hey, first of all, I feel like I'm like 76 Sinatra concert here with this microphone.
It sounds a lot like that.
Does it? Fly me to the moon. And don't give me that look. Let me tell you, sweetheart, what's bad is when you have some golden pipes and these baby blues and nowhere to use them.
I'm gonna go.
Okay. Welcome to Talking Story. My name is John Minton. Behind the camera is my literary wingman. As always, that's him. We're mobile today because we're going to do a little bit of a shelf tour here in the studio. So we've turned on the overhead lights, and where should we get started? Let's get started. Where do you want to start? Over here? Here is a shelf of some of the stuff I brought in from different Kickstarters. Sword of Kaigan, Threadlight, Daniel Green's Neon Ghosts, the Christmas book from Advent of Winter from all the different indie writers. I've got Rob J. Hayes' Angel books there. I've read this first one, Demon. I got to get back to Deathless. Hey, my Shelf Dragon right there, protecting my hoard. Going across, these are some of my fave fantasy series. We got the First Law series. Coming up next is that Nick standalone. We got the Vampire books by Christoph. Of course, we got Tolkien. Here's a Sander shelf. You can see I'm starting to bring in some of the Dragonsteel editions. And that's going to be full by the time we hit Dragonsteel. Quickly. Sticking with fantasy down here. Look, Bound and the Broken, Name of the Wind, Warlord Chronicles, some Neil Gaiman. So just some of my, favorite fantasies. Over here, look at this. This is unbelievable. We are getting ready for January, starting in 2025, when we do our buddy read of the Wars of Light and Shadow. And all of these books were sent to me. There we go. And she did sign each and every one of these books. I cannot wait to get into it. They're all right here on the shelf. I think I'm minus about 3, but they're all right here on the shelf ready to get into. I have already read To Ride Hell's Chasm, and I loved it. So down here is some of the mini indie books. Try to read one a month. So that's kind of stacking up. Coming across, this is kind of starting to be a broken binding shelf. You can see the Dandelion Dynasty Midnight Editions. Now I have these faced out, kind of, 1, admiring the sprayed edges, and 2, I haven't read these 2 series yet. So I kind of have in my OCD brain, as I read them, like if I get to Greenbone Saga, as I read each one of these, I'll spin them around. So until I have read them, I'm going to admire the sprayed edges. These are some kind of more, I guess, creepy reads that are faves, and I started off with some collections. I got Ray Bradbury's The Illustrated Man, and this is signed by Ray. I've got Harlan Ellison's Shatterday. I've got Harlan Ellison's Mephisto and Onyx. Both those are signed as well. I have Joe Hill's 20th Century Ghost. I believe this is a signed copy as well. These aren't all of my favorite collections. I don't have a Welcome to the Monkey House up there by Vonnegut and some other collections that I'm really fond of, but I just threw a couple up there that are my faves. And then some spooky reads here, like Necroscope, World War Z. I think this is signed too by Max Brooks. Let's find out. Yeah, sure enough. There you go. My Dark Harvest edition of Swan Song. This, mine also by Robert McCammon, but this, thanks again. I'm forever going to be thanking a great friend of the channel, David, for sending me the Suntup edition of Boy's Life, one of my all-time favorite books. And it just wrote me such an amazing letter that I kept with it. I just this is so special to me to have on my shelf. Again, I will forever be thanking him. The Blvd Press edition of Revival, one of my favorite cosmic horror reads by Stephen King. The entire Harry Potter series down here. I mean, Josh on Red Fairy Books asked me not too long ago what I thought the most important book fantasy was of the 21st century, and it's like, for reach and for getting so many different generations to come into the genre that we love, I gotta go with Harry Potter that wrapped up in early 21st century. Below this, we have the entire Matthew Corbett series. We are just waiting for book number 10 to slot in right here, Leviathan by the amazing Robert McCammon, one of my all-time favorite series. So hard to categorize. Historical fiction, historical fantasy, a little bit of dark horror. He does so many things so well. Here's some sci-fi stuff that I've really loved lately. I loved Adrian Tchaikovsky's Service Model, Mary Doria Russell's The Sparrow, and the follow-up Children of God. Of course, the Red Rising series, the last book that came out there, Lightbringer by Pierce Brown, and The Ferryman by Justin Cronin, I thought was a great sci-fi read. He had never done sci-fi before, or that I had read anyway. I had to throw that up there. Continue with sci-fi. Come on. One of my all-time favorite series, Dune, the first 3 books there, Howling, Dark, and the rest of the Sun Eater saga that I'm working my way through. Underneath this, the entire Dark Tower series by Stephen King, one of my favorite fantasy series. And underneath that, all my Clive Barker reads. I got a chance to meet Clive several times while I was living in LA. Most of this stuff is signed. Someday, maybe we'll finally get that next book of the art or that next Aberrat. I've got my fingers crossed for Clive to finish some of these amazing series that he started. Oh, right here. This is my Arkham House editions of all of Lovecraft's work, and my literary wingman, my son, just got this for me for Father's Day to finish that group of 4 out. What else? Hey, down here, these are like series that I got going on that I can reach down, like the Belgariad and Empire of the Wolf, Hap and Leonard, Sun Eater, Kagan the Damned. Here's the next first law book that, when I can put a TBR together, I always look here first, like, what series am I working on? What can I squeeze in? What can I grab from that shelf to put in a TBR to keep moving forward in a series? These are a couple, I'm just waiting for book 3s to get started. This is coming in, I think, next week, book 3. But that's just stacked up here because I'm waiting to grab book 3s. This is coming very early in 2025, book 3. This is the Tyrant Philosopher series by Adrian Tchaikovsky. Daniel Abrams trilogy. I'm waiting for book 3 there. So they're just stacked up there waiting to be finished out so I can move them to a different shelf when they're finished waiting to be read. That's kind of, what do you think? That's kind of everything back here. And you can turn that way. This is what the view looks like.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, this is what I see. The monitor, the camera. I don't do that.
You do, yeah, definitely.
I don't do that. Stop it. I'm telling you. Let me tell you, I'm going to pull up my Sinatra again.
No, we gotta.
All right.
I gotta go.
That's what I thought. Hey, just a quick break from the show to say a very special thank you to all of our correspondents, our directors, and our producers here that help us build the channel. Together, they do so many things. They help us make decisions. They help us keep the lights on and keep rolling, all the way up to taking over our channel once a month and getting their content on our channel. If you're interested and you have any questions about it, right down there in the description box under the Patreon link, you can find out all about it. And just a very special thank you to all of these people. Now, back to the show.
Recording.
Thank you for saying recording this time. I appreciate that. I have to clap to sync it. Hold on.
Aw, jeez.
This is my room. Welcome. Here, come over here. There are way fewer books than my dad, because I have not read as much as my dad. This is my copy of Frankenstein. I'm actually really proud of. I love this a lot. It's got that original artwork on the cover. I don't know if you can see that with the lighting. Don't say say yes or no. Can you see it? Yeah, how about this?
Yeah, that's better.
Is that
my
better?
God, Mr. Sassy Pants.
Here's like some film stuff, film in place and such. Then we have a horror shelf of stuff that I have actually read a lot of. I've read some Lovecraft, love Frankenstein, one of my favorite books of all time. Dracula as well. Very excited for the new Bram Stoker book. That's going to be really cool. The Strain I have not read. This is something I got as a gift from my dad, and I just never read it. And then we have a whole slew of things that I want to read, but have not read. This is kind of more sci-fi literary area. I don't know why it's on the horror shelf. There's just not a lot of room, because I don't have enough books to fill this shelf. So I have to cram everything together. I really want to read this because I love the Arrival movie. I really want to read this because I love the show. HBO show Station 11, that was really great. And then some David Mitchell that my mom has been recommending to me to read for years. And then the fantasy shelf. For these, I got up to Morningstar I don't know if I'm the only one on this. I feel like an unpopular opinion. Red Rising was great. Golden Sun was amazing. And then Morning Star kind of left me a little dissatisfied. So I haven't picked up Iron Gold yet, mostly because I've been busy and partially because I just, after this being slightly disappointing, I guess I haven't felt as much of a need. And then there's a whole bunch of classics that I really want to read that I have not. I haven't read Dune. I've read Game of Thrones, but have not gone into Clash of Kings yet. And the person behind the camera here today is upset at me that I have gone through here, but have not yet picked up Return of the King. So, yeah, I hear you growling at me from behind the camera. Then we got some more Tolkien stories, and this, which is an absolute prize. Janny sent me this herself, and she gave me.
No, you're doing good.
Am I? There we go. Get that. Okay. This is what Janny gave me. She signed it, wrote me a little note there, and then drew her own little artwork. A little dragon. 2 dragons, actually. So, really love that. I'm currently reading The Gallant, and it's amazing. I don't know if anyone else has read that, but please do. It's incredible. I can't wait to talk to people about that come January. If everyone wants to join us for the Wars of Light and Shadow read along. We have a little reading area with like an old school Super 8 film editor that I've never used. I think my grandfather picked it up at a yard sale, and I thought that'd be cool to have as a decoration. And there it sits. Memories of Murder, one of my favorite movies of all time. Just a poster I haven't put up yet. And more original artwork from Janny. I feel like I have a lot of Janny stuff, but that's just because she's amazing.
We're Janny fans.
We are big Janny fans. And then just some random journals and stuff. You don't have to get that. And then this is where we record things with my... Are you laughing because I tripped on a chair? That's not very nice.
I'm sorry.
This is where I record things. This arm swings around. And we got a little dinky light here. Just the one. That's all you need.
It's not dinky.
It's not the best light. When everyone is coming off of seeing like the amazing studio that my dad sits at.
You can turn that way. Stop it.
And I just have a desk and one little tiny light. But it still looks good. It goes to show you don't need crazy amounts of equipment to look good. You just kind of have to do what works. That's about it. I edit on DaVinci Resolve, if anyone didn't know that. We got a camera here that I would not recommend to anybody else because it's all manual and it'd be a pain for you to do YouTube with. This is where I spend all my time.
Yep.
Why'd you point at the chair like everyone wanted to see where my butt goes?
Thanks, everybody. Thanks so much for joining us. Hit us up in comments. What do your shelves look like? We love comments. We're going to answer them right away. The whole reason we started this channel was to talk books with people who love books like we do, the kind of books that we love. Hit us with that thumbs up button. Helps us grow and make new friends and talk about books with everybody. And if this is your first time, just to see like what the heck is back there. Oh, hey, look, that's a sketch Clive Barker did for me one night at a signing. I had just a canvas in my car. I ran out and got it, and he like did a quick sketch for me. Some comics series that I'm working on. There's all kinds of stuff back here. So that, that's just a quick update. If you want to say, hey, what's behind him? This is maybe your first or second time and you haven't hit that subscribe button yet. Come on. What are you waiting for? And then you're part of the club. You found your people. You found your book people. It you know what? When you do that, it does give you a little bit of a tingle, right? Right? All right. If this is not enough for you, right down there, we got in the description box, we got our Instagram, we got our Twitter, we got our new Discord that's up and going, our Patreon, all that kind of stuff is down there for you to explore. Thanks so much for stopping by. My name is John Minton. That, my literary wingman on the camera. My name is Jacob. Wow, just went with the obvious. Okay, thanks so much for joining us here on Talking Story.